On today's episode, the 3 warning signs you'll never get promoted and how to fix it. Welcome back to my show where high achievers get promoted, get productive, and get the corner office. Make sure you like and subscribe to this episode because every Wednesday there is a new career accelerating video heading your way. Getting promoted in one's career can be a very frustrating experience because it turns out showing up on time and doing great work just isn't enough necessarily to get you promoted. This was a really frustrating experience for me in my career because I did great work. I showed up on time. I did all the steps I needed to do to get promoted, yet it didn't really lead to promotion. And many of my clients follow this same path. It's like doing great work, check. Making great relationships, check. Showing up on time, check. Doing all these different things can end up giving you a great annual review. It may be a slight merit increase, but not necessarily lead to promotion. So what's happening? What are the reasons that you're not getting promoted? The good news is today I'm going to be sharing with you these 3 big reasons you're probably not getting promoted, and then I'll be equipping you with a strategy to turn it around. Reason number 1 that you're probably not getting promoted is that you're irreplaceable. Now, being irreplaceable is actually a good thing in so many ways, right? You're an essential part of the team. Your boss is relying on you. The whole organization maybe knows you in a certain way. You've defined your little niche about what you're doing and the value that you're contributing. Man, this is great. This is what job security looks like. But there's a big difference between becoming irreplaceable and becoming promotable. And the problem is if you're doing a great job and you are so irreplaceable, you can't be replaced. So in other words, if they promote you to another role, who's going to do your job? It's a risk to promote you because they're going to promote you in a different area where you're also going to be new there, right? You're not going to know all the ropes. You may not be contributing the same value, at least initially, that you were contributing in your previous role. So that's a risk. And then they've got to put somebody in your role and they're not going to know all the ropes. They're not going to do it as well as you. And that's another risk. Well, the key is to identify your successor. If you can proactively identify a replacement, it frees up opportunities for promotion. It's going to eliminate these risks of your replacement not being able to do your job and putting more risk into that specific situation. So when you start thinking about becoming an irreplaceable part of the team, instead of focusing on being irreplaceable, focus on identifying a successor. Even if it's someone that's not quite ready for the role, notify them, say, hey, I think you'd be a great person for this role one day. Communicate that to your manager and begin to train them, right? But instead of saying, hey, they're going to replace me one day, identify them as a backup. By identifying your successor, this person is going to be ready to slot in and they're going to back you up. And it's also going to free you up to move into different roles, and people are going to be more likely to advocate for your promotion if there's someone ready to go to replace you and do a great job in that role when you move to the next level. The big mistake that so many employees make is that they put the onus or the ownership of finding their replacement on their boss, and they wonder why they're not getting promoted. So instead of waiting around for your boss to identify a great successor, identify it proactively yourself, right? Who knows your role better than you? Who knows the ins and outs? Who knows the key strategies to success better than you? So you're going to be able to keep this in mind and be on the lookout for a great successor for your role to free you up to move to the next level. Warning sign number 2 is that you see the action, but you're not in it. So many times in organizations, it is easy to get pigeonholed in our little world, our little piece of the pie, our job responsibilities. The big opportunity for promotion is actually getting involved in the bigger problems and stepping outside of just our little role, our little piece of responsibility, and helping be a part of the bigger solution. Because when you do that, you get a higher profile, your higher visibility, and you're going to be able to make a bigger impact, and that positions you more in line for promotion. Think about it for a minute. Organizations, companies, they're not static, right? They're constantly changing, and there are threats and opportunities emerging from outside the organization all the time. It could be new technologies, it could be new hiring opportunities, it could be supply chain disruptions. There could be a lot of different things going on external to the organization, and the organization needs to create a way to go and approach those as opportunities that can generate a return on the bottom line. And so for you, what are the big opportunities? What are the threats that are emerging that you're anticipating that are maybe outside, maybe outside of your daily role, but you want to be a part of the conversation? If you're not part of that conversation, you're not positioning yourself effectively for promotion. So get involved. Now, one of the secrets here to do this is to read the Wall Street Journal front page. Okay, yes, Wall Street Journal or even the New York Times, big news publications, just peruse the front page. Those are the pages that are actually driving a lot of the conversations in the C-suite, okay? In fact, I've had several leaders in the CEO Sessions podcast, which I encourage you to go check out, say that when they realize that a lot of the board conversations are actually being stimulated and created by news that was coming in from the front page of the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, they learn that, hey, they can tune into this, and these are the key threats and topics that are being discussed in the C-suite, and most likely throughout the organization. And if you go through that news and you look for little highlighted areas that could impact the business, these are ideas that you can use to provoke the conversation internally and be a part of that and align yourselves to getting involved in the action, which that alone can position yourself for promotion. As an example, I had a client who felt consistently out of the loop on meetings and out of the loop on big projects. And this was so frustrating. It seemed like he was always finding out about things after the fact. And so what he did was he went on a proactive look. He went on a proactive search to find news that mattered to his role and the organization and started to create that conversation. So it's not always about getting included in the big conversations. If you're getting left out, it's often about creating those new conversations, and you'll naturally start getting included and involved in the other ones as time goes on. When you show that you're a person who likes to think outside the box, think outside just the job description, and be a part of the bigger solution for your organization. So before I get into warning sign number 3, make sure you stick around to the end, because I have a bonus warning sign that you're really going to want to pay attention to. The number 3 warning sign is that your boss doesn't have a specific plan for your career growth. This is a true tail warning sign, because if they're not thinking about the specifics for your career growth, who is? Well, the answer to that, of course, is hopefully you are. No, if your boss during your annual review, they say, hey, you're doing a good job, and they're thinking about it very arbitrarily, or they're saying, hey, maybe you want to go over here, or you want to go over here. I don't know. What do you want to do? Like, they're not very specific about painting that vision. That can be a warning sign. Like, they really don't know where to put you next in your organization. So how in the world is there going to be a direct path to promotion? So the key is, don't make your boss figure it out. Start to think about this for yourself, even if it's not specific. Start to share with your boss that you have an interest and a motivation for career growth, and start to talk about the different skills that you'd like to acquire to make a bigger impact to the team and the bottom line, and then begin to craft that long-term vision for your own career inside the organization. Just having this conversation, just introducing it, can be a great way to move things forward for you in a natural career path that's meaningful and that you truly care about and that you can get excited about. Here's the honest truth about this, is that leaders want to go to bat for employees who want to grow, but leaders really don't want to go to bat for employees who don't seem motivated and they don't want to grow, or they're just kind of like, okay, because it's a direct reflection on them, right? Leaders want to help other leaders who are going places. So let them know that you're motivated, that you're passionate, and that you want to grow, and then help them and work collaboratively with them to create a promotion path to help you get there. So let's quickly review the first 3 warning signs before we get into the bonus warning sign. Number 1, you've become an irreplaceable part of the team. Yes, being irreplaceable is a great thing in so many organizations, but that means there's too much risk to promote you. So make sure you're on the look for a successor. Number 2, you see the action going on around you, but you're not in it. Make sure that you're being more proactive about identifying threats and opportunities outside the organization and kickstarting the conversation about it. That alone will help you get more engaged in the most important action happening in your organization and help you get promoted. Number 3 warning sign is that your boss doesn't have a specific plan for your growth. If that's the case, make sure that you're proactively identifying it and notifying them that you're motivated for your own career growth and that you want to be collaborative with them in designing it. Now, I promised a bonus warning sign that you're really going to want to pay attention to, and it's simply this. It's a warning sign for your promotion in terms of why you're not getting promoted if the organization is not growing. Now, you still can get promoted inside an organization that's not growing or that's static, but it's much less likely because there's less revenue coming into the organization, and it could be a warning sign if the organization is not growing that there's not going to be future promotion potential. And so the way you want to do that is you want to look for clues inside meetings, inside the financial results. And if that's the case, the good news is you can be part of the solution of the organization and help right the ship. But over time, if you find that organization is still not growing and there doesn't seem to be an opportunity to be a part of the turnaround, it may be time to start expanding your network and looking elsewhere. So we've rolled through these warning signs that you'll never get promoted, and we've also talked about some key strategies to help you turn it around. Now, if you really want to get on the fast path to promotion, make sure you stick around for the next video because I have some more promotion strategies heading your way right now.